Hello and welcome to A Day in the Garden with me, Christina Linder. Today I think what we're going to do is refresh this hanging basket from summer. You can see that all the plants that were growing in here have finished, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep the root ball intact, but all the plant material that is now spent, we're just going to kind of pull that and cut it out like that. Some of these things, like this Lismachia here, might come back in the spring. It sometimes overwinters in our area. There. So this basket had lots of impatiens and begonias in it. It was a shade basket in the summer, and it was really spectacular. And when the time came for it to come down, I saved it because this is a handy little trick that you might enjoy. There. Relatively clean, I would say. So what we're going to do now is I've got here some evergreens that have come out of my garden. And what we're going to do is we're going to start by checking the ends, make sure that they're cut on an angle so they're sharp. And we're going to insert them in opposites. So the first branch goes in here, the other one will be on the other side, and we'll want it to be approximately the same length. And it's just a matter of sticking it into the moss structure here. If you've had a plastic basket, then obviously you can't stick branches through the sides, but you can certainly do it through the top. So there we go. And if you keep doing this in opposites, you'll end up, hopefully, with a fairly well-rounded basket. There. Now I have all kinds of different greens here. This is Douglas fir, and it's what a lot of Christmas trees are. It's sort of a lighter, prettier greenery, I would say. So now I got 2 on each side and 2 on each side, and it's time to start putting in some greens for the height. So, and as you can see, I've got a stack of greens beside me here, but I'm going to start with this Douglas fir, and I'm going to use up all the Douglas fir before I start with another type of green. And that is so that I can be sure that I have equal distribution of the material through the basket. And we just keep going here as fast as we can. And it doesn't have to be precise. Like this, by the time this is done, it doesn't have to be exact. It's still going to look good. There, and I think that's all the Douglas fir I have. I'm going to poke one in here too. And then I have here, this is something called an osmanthus from my garden. It looks like a holly, and it's not a holly. It's a little bit less prickly, but I really like the variegation in this foliage as well. So it's got a good side, and it's got the back side. So we want to make sure that we position this so that we can really get the benefit of the texture on the color of the leaves. There, I have a little bit more here. And what you can see that I'm doing here too is I'm picking off the bottom stem so that it's easy to push into the soil in the root ball. Because the soil is full of roots after the summer of growing the plants in it, it's going to hold together really, really well. And here I have a different type of green. This has a little bit more of a silvery backside, which is also very nice. Stick him in. And anything that's kind of yellowed or ugly, you just snip that out. Cedar is excellent for this as well. And I just don't have any cedar trees right around here, but in the last storms, a lot of greens have come down, and so what I do is I collect those things for when I want to build something like this. And one on the other side. This guy's a little long, So what we can do afterwards when the basket is finished is we can kind of go over it, and if there's anything that's sticking out in an unattractive kind of manner, then we can fix it. And here I have another beautiful color and textured green. This is also from my garden. And there's just so many different kinds of things that you can use. You can just go to the nursery in your area if you'd like and pick out some evergreen things that are winter hardy and that'll survive the winters in your area. And then you have some material to pick from when you decide to make things. So it's just a matter of layering. You kind of get the idea here. And a few more. So this is obviously going to take a long time, and I'm sure you don't want to sit here and watch me spend hours putting branches in, but you get the idea. What I want to talk a little bit about quickly here is how to then decorate this, just to give it a little oomph, a little color. And one thing that I have here is some really beautiful red rose hips, and they're great for putting in. They'll keep their color for a long time. So we'll just poke those in, pick off the little ones that break. There's a little bit of brute force to get them in if they don't really want to go. You can also, I have here from my hydrangeas, this is an Annabelle hydrangea, and I've cut them back a little bit in preparation for winter. With hydrangeas, with the big flowers like these, it's very easy for them to get weighted down by snow. So I pick the flowers off and they dry naturally on the bush, and you can put them in there like that. Just give it a little bit of extra color and texture. Another really cool thing that I have in my garden is this magnificent shrub. It's Calacarpa, and you can see how the berries are deep purple. Very, very pretty. Apparently you can eat them, though they don't taste particularly good. Oh, and look here. There's a little ladybug sleeping on this branch. We're going to save her. There we go. We're going to put her in that planter. And these berries can also be cut off and inserted in. With some difficulty, but still. And that will give a little bit of color to your basket. So this doesn't have to be a Christmas basket. This can be a winter basket that gives you a little bit of something interesting in a place of a hanging basket in the winter time. And then in the spring, when this is all time to come down, if you want to, you can pull all the greens out and replant your basket with summer annuals. Or you can just dispose of it and start fresh again. But this is a way that you can keep some decorations that are not Christmas-like outside. So I hope this gave you some ideas of things that you can do in your own garden. And I'd like to thank you so much for spending a little time with me here, the Day in the Garden with Christina Linder. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.